everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I am drawing a camel that I met at a show the other day. We went to a agricultural show and this gorgeous camel was there. I'm just going to let my dog out. Hang on just a sec. Come on here. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I'm walking on my floor wheel because I just mopped and it's very slippery. So, this camel I met the other day at Elmore Field Day. Absolutely gorgeous. And the company they're with is Peter Hodge Camels. So they are just beautiful creatures. And I thought, I asked them first and said, is it okay if I draw a portrait of one of your camels? And they were very happy with that. So I'm going to draw this and I shall give it to them. So I'm going to start with camel colours. I'm going to go to a taupey colour. Oops, why is my pen not working? Here, pen, work pen. Oh. Why is it not working? Oh, that's weird. Okay, I see what's happened. Hang on. Bring my mouse back down here. It should work now. No? Why is it not working? That's strange. Hang on. Why is my pen not... Oh, hang on. Something's happened to my settings. I need to fix that. What's happened to my settings? Why is my screens doing weird things? Hang on. Got to figure out why my screens have done weird things. So if I go to... Well, nope. Edit. I think I'll go down here somewhere. What do? Go to there. Nope. Image, properties, nope. I'm going to shrink my screen and see if I can fix this. I might have to... Hello, Shane. Maybe it needs coffee. Maybe it does. I don't know why my pen is deciding to not play the game. I think I've dragged something where it shouldn't be. Somehow. What? Is this going to work? No? Hang on. No! Oh, my goodness. It's up. I'm up on the wrong screen. Gee whiz. Okay, hang on. I've got to remember how to do this now. I'll bring it up on this screen maybe. Hang on. I know it's a tool thing. It's a krita. Is it krita? It is krita. Hang on. Krita painting application. Let's have a look. See if this will help me. My goodness. This is annoying. How have you been anyway, Shane? What's been happening? I've got to remember how to do this. How do I find my screen again and put it back where it belongs? Hang on. Let's go here. Krita. Let's go have a look at... Maybe it's huion tablet. Let's look at that. Whoops, no, don't want it up there. Oh, yeah, that's the one. And then I go pen display, working area, and I want the working area to be that one. There we go, I fixed it. Goodness gracious, great balls of cotton fluff. Now we should be right. Now I've got my pen back. Okay, all goodly. I've got my coffee here. Where's my coffee? Oh, it's way over there. I'm just going to bring my coffee back. It's probably half cold already. Yep. But that's okay. So I am going to start by drawing this guy. I'm going to go back to I've got my dip pen. I'm going to draw the outside. I might go a slightly darker outline. And I'm good after San Francisco. Wow, that's exciting. Why is my doodads highlighted weird? That is so strange. My chat doodads highlighted weird. Oh. I don't know what my doodads doing. There we go, I fixed it. All the technology's happening. San Francisco. Ooh, that's exciting. Very exciting. So now this camel is quite a beautiful creature. I've got a headshot and I've also got a shot of the team of them being worked. They were giving camel rides at the show that we were at. And these guys are beautiful. And they had teams of They were riding them individually, but they also had teams of 4, which I've got photos of, which is really gorgeous. I'm going to get the basic shapes in. And this guy, I walked up to him, I'm like, oh, he's a handsome fella. What's his name? And they're like, oh, handsome. And I'm like, well, it works. He's a very handsome boy, this one. Very handsome camel. Made me giggle, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that works. So straight away I called him handsome. He had a smile, which made me happy, as most camels do, just saying. So I'll just draw his chin down. He's got they've got so much fur. They are very woolly, very, very woolly. You wouldn't think for a desert creature they would be as woolly as they are. And this one I can just see, I've got to have his head a bit taller than that. I'll adjust a bit, get things to where I need them. He's got quite a very fatty bit there. Then it comes down to his neck. So this is sort of like a pet portrait. What's a working animal portrait, but yeah. Because here in Australia, I think we've got a bigger population of camels than Arabia. I think that was they actually buy camels from us here. Okay, I'm going to erase some little bits. Get rid of some of these excess lines so I can have a bit of a better idea of his detail and where he needs to be detailed. Right, it's a bit better. Drop my pen back down. Now I've got to put my chair up actually too. My chair is up. I feel like I'm sitting very low. I haven't been here for a while. How's life? What have you been up to? Oh, it's all been happening. What have I been up to? Oh, hanging out with the kids, hanging out with the grandson, which has been just amazing on so many levels. Working, I've actually retired, but I'm working again. But I'm helping the kids in their business. So that's good fun. I've been loving working with the kids. But just been, I'm going to draw his head colour on as well, because he's got a blue head colour. But I might add that in the next part of the drawing. So I'm going to go to the next layer. So yeah, been good and busy. So today I've got off, and then I'm working the rest of the week. How have I forgotten how to add a layer? There it is. I've moved everything because I had to, there we go. Had to add the recorder in because I wanted to film whilst painting. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of detail now. So I'm going to go, his nose is a bit more lumpy than I've got it. And his eye got a fairy bit that comes closer to the front of his nose there, like that. His mouth is on a bit more, I'm just going to start with the colour. I'm going to get a different brush. I'm going to go to, now I'm going to do, like I always do, I do the base colour and then I add the detail. I might add the halter and the harness and everything after. Getting ready for summer. Oh my God, yes. And today's I'm just thinking I need to turn the air conditioner on because I'm already hot. Yes, definitely getting ready for summer. Not looking forward to it at all. I don't like summer. Summer is not Jenny's friend. So to go down here to this sort of a golden colour, bring the opacity up, make my brush a bit bigger. And I'm just going to fill in. I'll make it a bit more golden in a minute. But yeah, we've got all the fire warnings, get prepared, start clearing, which we've been doing anyway for months. We've been clearing the farm, getting rid of any excess undergrowth and dead undergrowth and all that sort of stuff. So we have been tidying up, getting good fire breaks and stuff and prepping. I'm just going to block this in. Go around his eye. His eye is actually just that sort of a shape. Around his nose. Oops. And what about you guys getting ready for winter? His chest comes down there like that. So I can block him now. So I can just drag this colour. I think I've got to go to paint drop that one. And then I can fill it in. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, let's not do that. How do I undo? Control Z. Forgot how to undo for a second. I'll just do it by hand, shall I? Oh, no, not that one. Do it again. Go back to my paintbrush up here, top left. I'll just fill it in by hand as if I would traditionally. Because why not? Leave a little gap. I can draw all the excess bits in it. Again in a minute. Put it all back. So I'm just going to fill in. I'm just going to fill him in the base colour. Get that in and done. Still very warm in the day, but so cold at night. Yeah, we've still got cool nights, which is nice. We've still got cool nights. I hate heat at night. I can't sleep in the heat. I mean, we've got air conditioning, so we're okay, but we're expecting an extremely hot summer. That's what they were predicting. Very little rain. We've had very little rain. So be interesting to see what happens and how the year unfolds. Because our hottest month's February. So, but yeah, they're saying it's going to be super hot. So I'm just blocking in all of this colour. This is what I do in a traditional painting. I do the base, then I'd add the rest. So just block all that in. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with my dip pen again. And I'm going to go for a lighter colour or a greyishy browny colour because his nose, oops, I don't like that brush. I might make it a bit smaller. Now I can add these details back in. Our coldest month is January. Okay, yeah, where February's our hottest usually. February's our bushfire month. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because last year we had lots and lots of hot days in a row. We had sort of over 30 Celsius constantly and a handful of over 40s. But Northern Territory is already getting high 30s Celsius. I think that's low hundreds in Fahrenheit. So I'm just going to start adding shapes back in. So that's his ear. His mouth comes up here like that. They've got amazing mouths, these animals. They are just the cutest. It's amazing. Like I've had horses. I've owned horses pretty much most of my adult life. So I know their behaviours. And camels are quite similar in some ways with their behaviours. It was interesting. You know, they've all got their own personalities. Very much got their own personalities. And yeah, as I said before, this guy's called Handsome. And he's very handsome as far as camels go. He's huge too. A monster of a thing. Monsterly big. Okay, so that's his eyelids are a lighter colour. So I'm going to go to a camel colour. The irony. That's more of a goldy. I'm going to go back into the golds. It's hard because golden browns, sort of like that maybe, a bit darker. Maybe that. Just looking at the reference, maybe that. And I'm going to have a look what brushes I've got here. And I'm going to start to add in a little bit. I'll drop the opacity a fraction. A little bit of fur texture. I can see I've already got his ear in slightly the wrong spot. And his fur's all a jumble. It's going in all directions. Oops, make that a bit bigger. Fill in this spot here, his eyelid. He's got quite dark around his eyes. He's just a furry boy. Just a furry boy. Mr. Handsome here. All right. He's already starting to look okay. His fur on his nose is smooth. He's just got rough fur everywhere else. I'm going to change the tones of his fur just ever so slightly to create tonal differences in the spots that I can see he has tonal differences. Something's been bothering my little dog all morning. Pippi has been very unsettled, so I don't know whether we've got storms coming. Pippi is a storm predictor. She's like a little barometer, and she's been a very stressed little puppy this morning. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. It's either that or an earthquake. She's predicted the last 2 earthquakes. She's just been really stressed. Poor little muffin. And barks. She barks when she's stressed. I'll come down the back here. You can hear her in the background probably. My poor little Pippi puppy. I'm just going to fill in. I can leave the undercolour. It's darker around his nose, so I can fill that in this furry texture, which is I'm just using a rough brush. If I was using a traditional brush, it would be just like a worn out flat brush. Around her mouth, his mouth rather. Come down here. This fur is quite long and rough on his jugular bit under his throat. Earthquake? Yeah. We've had, the last year or two, we've had a few, but yeah, she predicts them. We had a decent one last year, and the whole house just shook and walked out the back, and it was like a scene from one of those movies. The pool, the swimming pool, had waves. Like when I walked outside, the pool was literally waves. And my youngest daughter had never been in an earthquake before. But it was 7 or 6 or 7 on the Richter scale. It was a biggie. And Pippi predicted. Pippi howled at me for an hour, and I wouldn't listen. I'm like, what is wrong with this dog? And then the house started to shake, and I'm like, oh my God, she predicted an earthquake. And ever since then, I've been listening. Whenever she carries on like this, I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? Is it going to be an earthquake or is it going to be a storm? She predicts both. She's like a little barometer. Now I'm going to go to a lighter colour. Slightly lighter. Around her face. His face. I keep calling him a her, but he's a he. It's a boy camel. Add this grey in. Yeah, Australia's had a few earthquakes this last 2 years, which has been interesting. Things must be moving around a bit. I heard it at Italy, I think it's Italy, is one of their volcanoes is steaming back to life again, which causes earthquakes, because all along their fault line is earthquakes are usually things moving. So, and I have noticed the last year or two, everything's been moving again. The worlds are shifting, which is fascinating on a lot of levels. going to change this part of his mouth a little bit. Fill it in. Still using that fur brush. I'm going to go in with this darker colour. I'm going to pick up my eyedropper, which helps you to pick the colours. I'm going to tap on this brownie colour, go back to my brush, and that gets that colour for me. I'm just going to add that colour back down the bottom of his neck, all the way down. Anywhere I can see that he's a little bit darker. And how's your mum going, Shane? What's been happening? How's all the fam? And how's your job been going? All right. Here's a lighter colour everywhere else. I'm going to go a little bit darker through. I can do that in a minute. What am I doing? No, I'll do it now. Add a little bit of coloured fur texture and around his head. His hair is quite rough on the top of his head. He's got a really good head of hair, this guy. He's darker all through here. He's quite dark coming down the back of his neck. Got to keep the fur on the back a bit rough, like that. Okay. I'll pop a link to these guys in my description after this stream, so you can go and check out their website and the camels. They've got lots of photos of the camels in training and the camels at shows and camels pulling carts and camels being ridden and training baby camels and handling young camels. It's really fascinating stuff. Oh, Mum's good. She's retired now. I'm doing good work. It's fine. I'm PTO in 2 weeks. Nice. Lovely. So how long are you getting off, though? How long are you going to have holidays? Okay, I'm going to go to a different fur colour now, slightly different. It needs to be a little bit lighter, just a fraction lighter. A couple of tones maybe. And always remembering the direction the fur goes. These guys are rough coated, quite rough coated. So I'll come down and around. Just a week, then a week off in January. Nice. So you're meeting up with anyone in the US when you go? What, you're going to catch up? Have you heard from Nutty at all and how they're going? Because I know they're Canada, but you could end up anywhere once you're over there. All right, continue down. I'll just add all the fur in first, and then I'll start with the other layers. You can see there's just subtle differences in the colour, and I just build up like this. I build up the first layer is the base, the block layer where I block everything in. The next layer is fur and detail, and the third layer is usually the final, all of the things all added together and jewellery on top, all the pretty bits. Continue down and around. Nutty's good. It's Thanksgiving there. Oh, really? Goodness, okay. Of course it's that time of year. I forgot. My goodness. So have you got any plans for Halloween? Speaking of such things, that's the end of the month as well. All right, continue on. They're just adding fur, just always looking at the directions of the fur in the reference photo. And I did ask permission from the guys that own the camels if I could take photos and use them for art. And I've also got to do a rabbit because the girl had a pet rabbit. Hello, Bacon. How are you, Del? So I'm going to do a portrait of her pet rabbit as well, which I will also give to her. It's nice to be inspired by different animals. Not really? Nah, me neither. It's not really a big thing. It's getting bigger in Australia. It is definitely getting bigger. Like the kids now get dressed up. In my childhood, no one here got dressed up. For Halloween was not a thing. But it's becoming, now we're getting more world aware. We're doing more European things, which is interesting. It makes me feel old. I'm like, back in my day. We didn't do that sort of thing. Oh, goodness gracious. Going to make me brush a bit bigger just to help. Their fur is thick, very thick. This rough brush is really good for doing the fur on camels specifically. It really does look right. Got to soften up that outside line. I don't want hard lines. Mind you, I do have, like, because I have all pet ornaments. You know how you have, people have garden decorations and gnomes and things? I have animals. I have, like, about 20 animal statues in my garden. And they're all dogs and cats and cows and horses and God knows what else. And one Halloween there, what I did see at a place we've called Bunnings. It's called Bunnings. It's like a hardware shop that sells everything hardware, but it also has decorations occasionally for garden stuff. And I found a skeleton dog, like a ghost dog. So I got that, so that's cool. But I leave him out all year round because he's sort of cute. But he's a skeleton and he's got a waggly tail. Oh, he's very cute. I do love my skeleton dog. And cats and mice and all kinds of animal ornaments. It's like my thing. It's my thing. Again, keeping going round, following the direction of the fur. And again, I suppose the fur acts as an insulator, doesn't it? Like seals have fur as an insulator. Because I'm like, camels are very furry for a desert creature. But on seals, it acts as an insulator from the cold. And maybe on a camel, it acts as an insulator from the heat. Who knows? I might have to Google or ask some questions. I might. And I think he had dromedaries as well as a single hump, so that dromedary's a two hump. Dromedary? No, that's not right. What's it? No, dromedary's an elephant, isn't it? Oh, shit. Oh, I've forgotten. Hang on. What's it? Oh, my God. I'm going to Google. That's driving me crazy now. I'm going to Google it on my phone. What is a two-hump camel called? If I got it right, I'd be surprised. What is a two-humped camel? Okay, hang on, I'm Googling. It's coming. I'll get the answer shortly. Oh, here we go. Bactrian. Oh, what? No. I've never heard him called. A dromedary. It is dromedary. Arabian camel is a dromedary, has one hump. The Bactrian or Asian camel has two. I did not know it was an Asian camel. There you go. They had a mixture of Asian camels and other camels. I thought they had another name. But that's okay. Maybe they have a different name here in Australia that we use, like a slang term for them or something. Because we have them wild. In the centre of Australia, we have masses of wild camels. I saw one of my friends as a truck driver across the centre of Australia. And I follow his Facebook. And he's had traffic jam and it's all these camels in the middle of the road. He's like, bloody camels, they're everywhere. But yeah, there was a herd of camels that stopped him on his big road train. they call them. All right, we're getting there. Yeah, there's got to be something going on. Pippi has not stopped. It was a toss-up whether I drew this on my iPad today. I wasn't sure whether I was going to draw it on my iPad or not. And he's got a chest plate on. He's got harness on this one. He's resting between his laps around the fairground. Right, continue on. Come down his leg. All right, so that's the base sort of done. I'm going to make the brush a little bit smaller and do some fur. Make not that small. Some fur around his nose. It's a bit smoother along here, but I can blend that out in a minute, and a bit more grey as well. So I'm going to go to my blending brush. Just going to blend this, soften it a little bit, just around his nose. Like that. Either that or we've got an echidna in the front garden bed. We had an echidna the other day, the cutest little guy, and he might be in my garden bed living. I just remembered that. Okay, so I'm sort of happy with that. Now I'm going to go and start to add a little bit more darker fur texture. Go to the darker brown that I have. Go, where are you, darker brown? That one? Oh, let's go. Oh, I've still got the wrong brush. Go back to my rough brush and get to this darker brown and start to add the layers of colour. And anywhere I can see, he's got slightly different tones. He's got beautiful eyelashes too. If you've ever looked at a camel's eyelashes, they are really pretty. They've got the best eyelashes of pretty much any animal. Just gorgeous. And he's got longer fur down here, which is darker under there because it's in shadow. Like that. Okay, darker under here a bit more. Right, he's darker on this side of his ear. Darker right in that core part of his ear. And behind. My goodness, Pippi is barking. All right. I'm just going to shut this door so not as intrusive. Whoops, Daisy. And I'm going to add the fur texture down the back of his neck. And the very last layer is when I'll add... Actually, no, I could add the halter and the head collar and stuff now because technically it sort of blends into his fur a little bit. I better get some sleep. Oh, absolutely. Thank you for popping in, mate. It was lovely to see you. Have a good night's sleep. Possibly we'll be back streaming tomorrow again if you're out and about. Got to see how the mop fots. Depends on whether the kids need me for work or not. All right. Got to rough up this fur a bit more. Got to go a stronger tan. So I'm going to pick up this colour. Go to my eyedropper. Pick up this colour, this brown, and I want to darken it a fraction, just to make it a little bit different. Oops, go back to my brush. Oops, no, I did it wrong then. Go back to the eyedropper, pick up this brown. Yeah, go back to the brush. And then I'm going to add this fur texture in. So we're getting like 3 or 4 different tones of brown. Got to go that lighter colour actually to soften up. We've got a bit too much of the pinky tone in there. So we're going to get rid of it. I want that as the underlying colour, but not really showing through a lot. Just little snippets of it. Good night for now, mate. Sleep well. I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Okay. Fill all of that in like that. Come around his eye. Just gonna let my other dog out now. What are you doing, Bear? You want to go out? There you go. All right. I'm going to add some yellows and some golds. I'm just looking at all the different colours and shapes and things like that. So he does have a bit of orangey yellow. So I'll go up to the yellows. Got to be a bit careful here. I want to stay in the yellowy reds. I don't want to go to the greens. I want to go to the yellowy browns. So I've got to go back to that sort of colour to get that sort of yellowy colour, because he's got goldy colour on his nose around the top of his eye. I'll brush a fraction smaller. Oh, no, it needs to be bigger because it's a scruffy one. Like that. And here you can see we're starting to get a little bit of three-dimensional effect. Takes a while. It takes 2 or 3 layers to get three-dimensional effect. This is a nice sort of colour for a highlight colour on the fur. I'm just looking at all the areas that he's got highlights. He's lighter around the tip of his nose, a little bit up the top of his head, around the back. On inside of his ear here is quite light, like that. And the top. Come down his neck. I've got to add this golden colour into other parts of his fur as well, because he's got the ripples of highlights on the tips of some of his fur. And he's actually lighter underneath. So he's got light down here as well, on the very bottom of his neck. Probably the angle of the light that it was morning light when I went and took this photo. I'm going to go back to my other brushes. Oops. Go back into, grab this little brush because I want to lighten up. He's got the tip of his nose. I'll add the fine detail at the very, very end. I've got to lighten up under here. So I'll go back to that soft brush. A rough brush, I mean. Each brush has a different effect and a slightly different reaction on the canvas. Different intensity. Okay, it's got a bit of light down here as well. I can add that over the top. Build it all up. Make the brush a bit bigger. He's lighter up towards his hump here, shoulder. Just working my way around, keeping the fur going the directions. It's got a bit of dirt in his shoulder there. I'll leave that on because that's realistic. I'll do that in a minute. Down and around. Okay. It's got this lighter fur up here. I'm going to draw the head collar on now and some of his harness. Now he's got a blue head collar on. So I'm going to go into the blues. Go into the blues. I think it's a blue. It's a very pale blue. Go up to that sort of blue, I reckon. Will do. And I'll go back to my dip pen. And I'm going to draw that in. Hello, how are you, Jeremy? How you going, mate? I'm very good, thank you. Always happy when I'm drawing. Always happy when I'm drawing. This is a rope head collar, rope halter. We call them halters. In different countries, they're called different things. Head collars, halters. Right. So they don't put bits in their mouths or anything. They just have they neck rein, these guys. Sometimes they'll have a nose ring, but these ones don't. They can steer them with their nose, but these ones, they just neck rein. They're beautifully trained. These particular camels. Down and around. Glad you're happy when you're drawing. I'm always happy when I'm drawing. It's my favourite thing to do. If I'm ever stressed about anything or anything like that, drawing always calms me. Drawing is like reading a book. It's my happy place. It's my calm place. Okay. And how have you been, mate? What's been happening? He's got a knot there. I'm just going to draw in the shape, so I'm not going to worry so much about the details yet. I'll add the textures in the rope in a minute. I'm just blocking it in at the second. Blocking it in like that. And then that rope comes down under here. Like that, under there. Okay. I'm going to go a darker blue now for the shadows in the rope, because these ropes are split. So I'll darken up the underneath. Just mostly existing, waiting for my girlfriend, did some real life painting today. Oh, wow, cool. How'd you like that? Real life is fun. I really love it. And you learn so much about observing when you do real life stuff. So much fun. That's where you learn the most, I find, like by drawing from real life. You see more light. Photographs tend to edit out too much detail. In real life, you can see so much more. Love it. It's amazing what you see, the detail you see when you look closely at things. I was actually thinking about maybe even going to the zoo today doing the same thing, like because there's nothing quite like drawing an animal from nature Not good at it, does it? You don't have to be, mate. You get better. It's practice. Don't have to be good at it as long as you enjoy it. And you get better. The more you do, the better you get. It's all about it's all about doing it and enjoying it. Because art's one of those things that you might think it's not good, but some people might love it. So it's perspective. It's, what's the word? There's a word. I can't think of the word. It's everyone's opinion. You know, everyone's entitled to, they have different opinions. And he's also got a saddle blanket on. I won't worry. Will I worry about his saddle? Yeah, I'll draw his saddle blanket. No, I won't draw his saddle blanket because it's sort of out of context. I'll draw his harness on. I'm going to go to a darker brown. It's like a chocolatey brown. So he's got saddle on him, but I'll just draw this. So he's got this harness that comes down here. Like that. And then it's a strap that comes down here that goes and holds the side of his saddle. Like that. It's all stitched in together. He's actually got a loose bit. I'm just looking. I might just fill that in. I'll just go back to that brush. Make it a bit bigger so I can block this in. This harness colour. I can tidy up the edges in a minute. All right. Right around that outside edge. Like that. Because this one's having a rest. There's nothing going between his front legs that I can see. I've just got to tidy up. I'm going to blend out this bit here. Blend it back into his fur. Alright, now I've got to add highlights onto the leather. So I'm going to go pick up this colour, go to the colour that it is, then I'll just make that lighter. I'll just go down the colour scale a little bit. And I'll, grab the right brush would be good. That one. Actually, no, I'm going to go back up to that one. And add the highlights in, because this is like binding material. Because I do leather work as well and harness work and sewing. I have tons of this stuff. Like a heavy seatbelt binding. So it's soft on their coats, on their fur. It's not like harsh, but it's flexible. It's very adjustable because you can put what's the word? Clips and buckles and extensions and all kinds of stuff on this stuff. It's very easy to work with. Back down. Blend all this. All right, having a look at my reference. Actually, is this? No, it is leather, rather. So I've got to go darker around the outside lines now. Actually, I'm going to go to this colour. So I'm going to pick up that colour again. Pick that colour up. Oops, no, that didn't work. Click on that one. Press on that. That gives me that colour. Press on my brush again. Then go back to that brush. I'm going to fill in all of this. Pretty much. Because this is all adjustable. There's holes all the way through. I just noticed that he's got holes to adjust the length of this all the way through. So I'll try and get it as realistic as I can. Try to keep true to detail. It's always good to be observant, because if you do harness wrong, it looks very wrong. I mean, I've always been a horse person, so I've always known how horse harness is put together. This is just an adaptation But the head collar is the same one that I had for my horse, pretty much. So I'm now going to go, I'm going to leave that darker edge. Holes are actually lighter, which is interesting. So I'm going to go back to my dip pen now. I can see these holes go all the way, intervals, around the harness. It's only subtle, but it makes a difference. Keep an eye on that sort of stuff. Okay. I'm going to add a super dark around this underneath edge. Not solid, but this is an extra tone darker on the bottom, anywhere that's in shadow, just for a little bit of contrast. Right. I'm going to add the tops of these holes dark, just very carefully, like that, because the tops of the holes are in shadow, like that. Okay. I'm going to blend the head colour a little bit at the edges, just tidy up my shadow lines a little. All right, and I'll draw. I've got a few reference photos. He's got he's got a white rope, which I will draw in. Okay, so I'll go. He's got a silver buckle. It's like a carabiner clip. So I'll go to the yellows, go into here, up into the silvers. Go into the silver. Oh, no, that one. Go into the silvers. I'm going to draw this carabiner. Get my dip pen. Those carabiners come down on that sort of a shape. I'll just fill that in. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go a darker colour, so walk up into the darker colours and draw the carabiner clip that buckles up, add a shadow underneath, like that. Might even go a bit darker because I can. Around the outside edge and the inside bit, help create a little bit of contrast. And then I'm going to do the rope, and the rope is a creamy taupey colour, so I'll go back to this colour, maybe make it a little bit lighter, and I'm going to just have his rope coming out there. Not the same as the reference, but it'll do. And then I should be able to paint bucket fill that in. Yep, like that. Cool, cool. And then I'll go up into the shadows, and I'm going to add shadow tone to create the rope pattern underneath. And just create a bit of unevenness. Like that. I don't want to join it up at the top all the way. Continue around, get the full length of the rope. That just suggests the rope. bear with me, I've got to let my little dog out. I'll be back in a second. Bear's gone out. So now both dogs are outside. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. So now I'm going to actually add this colour. I'm going to get a soft brush. I'm going to drop the opacity, make it a bit smaller, go over the bottom of that robe. And the details I've just drawn on, just very gently. You can still see the lines through it, like that. But it just darkens it up a little bit. Now I've got to thicken up here because here is like knotted. I'm going to go back to my dip pen. There's a big, like it's, what's the word? When you bind your rope together, it's got a big knot at the top that's all braided back into itself like that. So I'll just define that a bit more, like that. Shadow in there, like that. I'm just going to sort of shadow, add a little bit more shadow to the underneath, not all of it, just some of it. Create a little bit of interest going down the rope, like that. Just, you don't want a solid line. You don't need a solid line. Solid lines look too harsh. So you break it up, keep it intermittent, stop start sort of thing. That just helps to give everything a bit more interest, like that. Right, I'm happy with that. I'm going to add this dark. I'm going to go to almost black. I'm going to pop that into his knots and some of the shadows onto his head collar. Like that. Just add some darks. Whoops. That doesn't matter. You know what it does? Oh no, it does matter. Undo that bit. There we go. Add those darks in there. That would have mattered. It was an odd spot to have a line. Super darken up his head collar here. Darken up in this knot here. Like that. Darken up the shadows. I'll leave the carabiner as it is. Just add a few little squiggles. Anywhere that's in shadow, darken up. Okay, I'm happy with that, I think. I'm happy with that. I might just darken up the underneath of that. Now, I'm going to add some more fur texture. I'm going to actually, before I do that though, I'm going to go into his mouth and his nose and add these details. So he had his nostrils up here, like that. His mouth comes down. He's actually got lighter. I'm going to do the lighter furry bits. I'm going to go let my dog back in. He's in and out, in and out. Oh my goodness. You there, Bear? Come on then. Come on then, Bear. How do you go potty? Now he's back. Okay. So I'm going to go now to my brushes, and I'm going to go to brushes here. And in here, I've got textures, fur. There's one that had fur. Hair and fur, that one. I want to go to this one because there was a brush in here that had really good fur texture, I thought. That one. And I'm going to add that around his lips because he's got lighter hair around his lips where the sun's hitting them. And around the tip of his nose. It's just a slightly different texture. Draw a little bit of that up on his eye. Like that. A little bit coming around the top of his nostril. I need to Google a camel's eye because this guy has got, I can't see his pupil in my reference. I'm going to draw eyelashes a little bit. Like that. He does have fur coming down around the outside of his ear. I'm going to make that a little bit more golden. A little bit more golden. It's not really golden, is it? See, that makes it green. I don't want to do that. I've got to keep it in the reddish colours. I'm going to avoid the greens. I'm just looking at the lighter details now. And the finer fur details around his face. And I'm going to draw them in with this individual sort of brush. It's more of a individual hair drawing. This bit. It's amazing. I could never draw with coloured pencils. It's one of the things I always wanted to do and I could never do it. I could never master coloured pencils. But I always loved the effect, the detail you could get. I love watching coloured pencil artists. But I could never do it. And this gives me the same effect doing it on digital without having to sharpen all the time and buy new pencils all the time. Come down and around. So now I'm adding in the finer details. A bit more grey in here. Under his nostril, around his lip. Okay, down into his fur. Work on his eye a bit more. Got to start to get this. Might draw a little white. Give him a little white dot on his eye. Out there, just make it a bit bigger. Just a little reflection of his iris. Like that. Just like that. I might take this light around the edge of his nose as well. Okay, I'm going to go back into this goldy colour. Make my brush a little bit bigger. Just follow the direction of the fur. I can see where I've got to add more shadow. The more you look, the more you see. The more highlights you get onto, you can realise I've got to make his nose a bit taller. Bring his nose up. He's got a bit more of a strong nose. Like that. Go that goldy colour. A bit of fur texture. Like that. Go into the darker colours. I'm just working my way around now. Just anything. Oh, I don't want to be in the greens. Jeez, Louise. I want to be in the browns. There we go. So I'm going to add this fur texture around here. Darken up under his nose. Again, following the direction of the fur. He's got more shadow here. Shadow furry bit. Comes down to there. A shadow along the bottom rim of his lip. He's got saggy bag lips. darken up in there. I'm going to go even darker than that. In there, even darker than that. There we go. Okay, having a quick look. He's got dark fur here. He's got a gap in his fur down here. This creates texture. You don't want him to look flat. He's got like darker, shorter fur here. He's been clipped under his chest here so that if he sweats they can wash him. He's actually had his fur clipped off underneath, which is very kind of them because it makes it easier to clean him. When he's done his work for the day, they can just hose him off. Same as we do with horses pretty much. I'm going to add the fur texture in and around his chest and his back, heading up towards his hump. Their fur is quite intense. Tufts, lots of tufts. I'm going to blend, I'm going to actually soften out. I'm going to go back to my normal brushes, favourites, because I'm going to smooth out this fur here. Oops, no, not with that one. I'm going to go to my blender, smooth out where they've clipped him. So I'm just going to blend it so it just takes the fur texture away. I can see they've done it all the way here. I'll make my brush bigger. It makes the blending easier. Like that. Yeah, they've clipped him all under there, I just saw. Like that. All right, I quite like that. Okay, now I'm going to smooth off. I'll add a little bit. Go back to my dip pen. I'm going to add a little bit of this grey. He's got skin. Oh no, not that grey. Gee whiz, that's too strong. That's way too strong. I'm going to pick up this colour again. Go to eyedropper. This is a really good way of picking up your colours. I'll pick up that darker colour. Go back to my pen. Make a pen a bit bigger. Because it's not that big. Gee whiz. Go in the middle. There we go. It's got to add creases. He's got skin creases around his chest there. Like that. Oop. Keep pressing that button on my doodah. I'm going to add this fur as well. Keep it a bit more unified. Hello, hey Hill Tony. The camel looks good. It looks like a real life photo. How long has this taken you? I have been at it for 1 hour and 10 minutes. How are you going, doll? Sorry, I hadn't looked up for a while. How are you going? It's lovely to see you again, doll. Yeah, he's 1 hour it's taken so far. It is quite easy. It's faster when it's just a headshot. And I met this camel last week at a fair. Like an agricultural show. Had camel rides and he was one of them. Looks very realistic. Thank you. His name's Handsome. And they do trail rides with him. And they do all kinds of shows with him. It's a beautiful thing. And I saw him and I'm like, oh my goodness, I really want to draw him. So I asked them and they said I could. So it was good fun. But I've got photos of a herd of them as well, like, or not a herd, but the group all in harness that I want to do at a later date. Jen's art always looks amazing. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Very sweet. I definitely have bad days though. There are some days where my art does not look the best. I have had some epic fails. Master of craft. Oh, far from it, mate. Still learning. I still learn. Still learning the whole time. Don't you worry. Still learning the whole time. Every time I do a piece, I find something that I didn't realise, or I'll see something that I hadn't seen before. I've got to add the darkers. Got to get to the darker browns. Got to go back in. So I'm going to go colour drop. Pick up that little colour with my eyedropper. And then I've got to draw these little tussocks in between. He's got very fine little, oh, it's too small, little furry textures. Thank you guys, you're very sweet. Very kind. I just enjoy it thoroughly, and I enjoy hanging out with you guys too. Thoroughly. I'm gonna darken up. Got to go a bit of a stronger brown, but not quite that strong. Maybe that colour brown in here. Just a bit of a lighter brown. Start to follow the shape of his face. Oh, that'd be fun. Great to see. Oh, it was so good. It was a proper, like, it was one of the biggest agricultural shows in Australia, and they had all the farm machinery, anything that you could possibly use on a farm. They had, like, to the giant tractors, because our farms out here are miles and miles, like 1 million square miles. Some of them are big, massive. So they have massive machinery, and so they had all that machinery, how to use it, all water pumps, everything for dams and irrigation, aeroplanes, because people in the Northern Territory and up north, they get around by aeroplane. It's just too far. You can't drive it. So they get around by aeroplane. So they had aeroplanes for sale, and people had flown down from the top end in Queensland and everywhere else. They had a plane parking area so people could park their planes, like as you do. We had a bit of a giggle about that. I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine just driving in, just pulling up on your aeroplane? And they had aeroplanes for sale, and because Australia's so vast, a lot of times they'll round up horses and cattle with helicopters. So they had little helicopters, and they had all kinds of displays. It was so fun. We go every year. It's an every year thing, and we love it. Sounds like it could be fun. It's so much fun. It is amazing. Yeah, all kinds of work trucks. Everything you can imagine. If you see it on a farm, they have it. It's fascinating stuff. I actually got myself some camera equipment, because I had camera equipment as well for your iPhone, so you can, because there's lots of YouTubers and stuff now, you see, so that do lifestyle vlogs on farms and whatever. Are the spiders generally worse over there? I hate spiders. Hiltoni, we do have some of the nastiest spiders in the world. We do. We certainly do. So yes. We certainly do, and I'm not a particular fan. Our worst one's the funnel web. If you Google funnel web, they're awful things. And they chase you. They're nasty. I'm going to go to this lighter colour, super light colour. I've got to add that around the outside edge. We have bird-eating spiders, all kinds of fun stuff. I've been bitten by one of those years ago. That was not a nice moment. All right. Do you have to deal with them often, or is it quite rare? Well, it's sort of an everyday thing here. Like, it's so normal. Like, I could look up at my roof and count spiders, because they just appear. And this is spider season, so there's a lot more of them. You just get used to them. You do just get used to them. Yeah, so they're normal here. The venomous ones, you don't come in contact with as much, but general everyday spiders, they're everywhere all the time. You're constantly cleaning them up. Like, I've got one garden bed here that I will not garden. I won't weed it because I'm scared of the spiders in it. I've been chased by a spider in that one garden bed, and I'm like, I'm not going in there ever again. So I don't. That garden bed doesn't get weeded. We just poison it occasionally to stop the weeds getting out of control. And that's it. Definitely braver than me. Yeah, oh no, it's no brave. It's not brave, mate. Not brave. Just it's a fact of life. But now we're coming into snake season as well, which is a bit of a worry. I worry about the dogs in snake season. I keep them inside a lot of the time when it's hot and snaky. We've seen a few snakes already. So one big brown, king brown, and one black snake. The black snakes aren't as aggressive as the king browns. But they're just a fact of life here. Sort of, you get used to it. You do get used to it. They are just a fact of life in the country. Not in the cities. You don't get them in the cities. You get the spiders in the city, but you don't get the snakes as often. You do get them very rarely. Oops, I don't like that. I'm going to pick up this colour here, this brown, this darker brown. But yeah, the snakes I'm not looking forward to at all. Like I said, I tend to keep my little dogs inside because the dogs will chase them. And that's not good. Okay. I'm going to go darker under here, under his chin. Just doing these fine little touches around his mouth. We get tons of redbacks, which I think you guys call black widows. They've got a red stripe on their back. We call them redbacks. Thousands of them. You lift anything up off the ground and there'll be a redback under it. Especially on a farm. I'm just trying to track your drawing movements. Can just see random strokes here and there. Yeah, it's sort of, I jump around. I do jump around on my drawings. I've got to do a tutorial with a camera looking down on it. So I'm up on the top of his nose now. I'm just doing the final sort of snippets, little touch-ups of fur, adding a bit of fur texture around the top of his eyebrow, starting to define little bits. Just going to add around the bottom of his eye, like that. Just adding the littlest strokes. Like I am doing teeny tiny strokes now. I'm on his chin, in the furry bits around his chin. I am jumping a lot. So I've got to get my camera top down set up so you can watch from the top. I have it for my iPad, but I don't have it on this. But I've got to get it. I'll have to figure out some way. For just over an hour, it's very impressive. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, some artists can spend months and months doing artwork. I can't. I'm a do it in the same day person. Like I've never been able to. I'm too impatient. And I'm so used to drawing from nature, drawing from like going out and seeing animals and just sitting there and drawing them in the bushes and stuff, that I'm fast. Because I'm so used to drawing them before they move, get them down on paper. So I draw fast naturally. But I can't do. I mean, I probably could if I wanted to, but I don't like to. I didn't pick the right colour. I've got to pick this brown, this darker brown for under here. I've got to draw the fur coming down under his chin a bit more, under his neck, sorry. Yeah, I'm incredibly fast, but I could do better detail if I was if I took my time like some artists. I could probably do a whole lot better than I do. I was going to say doing it out at nature actually could be hard if it's subject is. Yes, you got to get it on paper fast. That's why I draw fast, because I'm so used to catching the movement in the moment that I can't slow down. It just isn't in me to slow down. It's how I am. It's how I roll. But I'm pretty happy with that, actually. He's not far from done. For an hour and 20 minutes, he's not far from done. I reckon. I'm happy with that. I mean, technically, you'd call this a sketch. You would call this a sketch. He's not a bona fide. I've got to do the dots on his lips too, because he's got lots of lip texture. You can see his bottom lip. You can't see his top lip sort of tucked in. Got to draw these little dots on his bottom lip. Got to darken up this shadow in the middle here. And they've got a split nose, so I'll draw that. Whoop, that split nose. Got to draw the shadow in that bit, like that. And then I'll add the lighter brown around the outside, like that. I've got to take his nose down a fraction more, like that. I'm just looking at the teeny tiniest little subtle differences now. But I am pretty much happy with that, I think. I think I'm going to call him done, you know, because the more I fiddle, they're not look too busy. Like there'll be too much going on. So I don't want it to look too crazy. Too much work going on. I've got to add highlights onto the brown. So I'm going to go to this colour. So colour drop, that colour. Then go back to my colour wheel and take it back into the lighter sections to get a highlight. Go to my soft brush and add just a highlight on the leather. He does have, or binding. He does have a light hitting the top there. Little bits like that, just looking for lights and shadows can make the world of difference. Now I'm going to soften those edges. It's always looking for lights and shadows. Anywhere you can make a subtle difference. The light's sort of hitting there, soften all that. All right, I reckon I'm happy with that. I'm going to sign that and I'm going to call that done. So I'm going to go to my pens, go to my dip pen, go J. And I am going to say that's done. I just don't know how you get so much incredible detail in it, even like the rope looks so real. It is just, it's all an illusion. It is all an illusion. I did explain like how the rope is just a line of light. Then I add the little shadow lines underneath just to subtly suggest that there's lines of the rope. And then you let your mind tricks you into seeing detail. You don't have to do every little detail. Your mind will trick you. And then on the bottom of it, where I've got the darkest shadows, I have added the shadows just intermittently, not a solid hard line. Like it looks like detail, but if you look close, it's just a mess of lines. So yeah, it's really fun to look at people's artwork because it is just a mess of lines. But yeah. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. And I am going to call it there. And what time is it now? It's lunchtime here. I'm going to go make myself some lunch. So I might pop back after. I shall see how the mop flops and do some more drawing. But we shall see. Anyway, thank you so much. Thanks, Hill Tony. Thank you to Jeremy and my mate Shane and Bacon. Thank you guys for being here. And gals, everyone, you're a world of awesomeness. And I will see you for the next video. You have a great day too, Dal. I shall. I'm off and, yep, I'm going to have a lovely day. I might do some more art. We'll see how we go. Have a great one, and I'll see you next